Hey, Taylor. Taylor, this is John.
Yeah.
Hey, Hope is from the University of Kansas, not Kansas State University.
Uh, yeah. Hope
Hope is from the University of Kansas.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to change that.
Okay, I'll address that.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Hello, I'm John Garafola with Emporia State University, and welcome to the 1 o'clock session on is public cloud security ready for higher education? And welcome to all those in attendance live and watching the recorded broadcast. If you have the opportunity, please notice that we've got the question and answer link that we will be replying to at the end of this live session. And so if you have any questions, please feel free to post it using the link associated there. And without any further ado, please welcome Hope Sunn from the University of Kansas. Hope, take it away.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Hope Sunn. My name is Hope Sunn. I have been Oracle DBA, MySQL, Microsoft SQL DBA for more than 15 years. And I have been an enterprise application admin for more than 15 years. Today, I'm going to share my story on admin to the cloud certifications, my journey from the online on-prem to the cloud. So my presentation in this presentation, I will cover a little bit more about security options in the cloud. And I will primarily focus on the AWS features, because that's where I spend most of my time. Resource to the cloud, we can discuss what's next steps. So the security, information security is more about policies, process, and procedures. So I am on the operation side, so I am more focused on how do I physically secure my digital data. So we usually start with the network, which is our first line of defense. So this is usually done by the network team. So they apply the security measure on the routers, switches, and firewalls. So as an application admin, we do keep up with the security patches, and also one EBS admin, we need making sure we apply the annual payroll patches, HR patches. It's called a roll-up patch. For PeopleSoft, I believe it's called pump. And also we keep up with the application patch like WebLogic. I remember 2019, there's a execution. We even see the attack on the firewall side. So we were in a hurry to apply this WebLogic vulnerability patch in 1 week from dev to test to prod. Generally, we do patch, we put in dev for a few weeks, then let it run in test a few weeks. But this patch, we did it in 1 week because the security is top priority. And we need to protect our digital data. So we also focus on encryption our file folders when we have sensitive data. And also we set up single sign-on for our application. I believe database is the heart of the all applications, and that's a Oracle DBA, Microsoft SQL DBA. We the first line of defense always only DBA can access the database server. I remember I used to even have a static IP address. So only my static address and certain DBA static address can access the database host. So we're also making sure to set up proper access to the database. For example, developers can only allow read-only access to the database. So, and also we definitely spend a lot of time as a DBA to encrypt our database. For Oracle and Microsoft SQL, we use TDE, transparent data table space encryption. And also we're making sure we use SSL TLS protocol when we communicate with our application. So that's what we do as a DBA. So the every school and a company has a web page, which is most visible site, and I believe it's also most vulnerable. So I believe they all use very sophisticated intrusion detection and intrusion protection program guard us against DDoS intrusion. So more and more service offering is allow students to check their class schedule or grades on a mobile phone. So it's very important to ensure the privacy. I don't want other people to see my grade. So it's we spend a lot of effort on secure our, for example, wireless access point. I think a lot of people might not thinking the DR or data duplication is on the security list. As the CTO of Amazon says, everything fails all the time. So we build our system keeping in mind everything is going to fail. So I think a good DR side and also regularly test the restore of our data is very important security measure. So I believe we have a lot of security in place to protect our on-prem data. So how about cloud? So this is a Amazon online a screenshot of AWS compliance program. So you can see they have provided a lot of us read-only, ready-made program for us, and it's the same for Azure. So we can see they provide infrastructure security, database security, and more like logging and auditing with the elasticity of the cloud. So I guess I will just briefly talk about some of the cloud features that impressed me on. So I remember back 2017, a lot of universities get phishing attack. Some employees direct deposit get changed, which include my school. So that's why we started implementing Duo to making sure of any other measure. We set up alert if anybody's direct deposit information change, we send an alert to HR people. But we do not making sure we want to use multi-factor authentication. So the cloud also offers the same and also offers the role-based and server role-based access control. And also the AWS has a service called Cognitos. It allows when a developer to use the third-party authentication. Let's see if I'm just thinking about if we want to provide a service to allow parents to log in if I want to check my balance, and paying my kids' tuition. I guess instead of create an account for me or I have to have a school account, I can use, probably you can allow the parent to use the Facebook account or Google account or Hotmail. So this service is really make the development easier. And talking about this phishing attack back a few years ago, I remember I worked with FBI. I have to log into like about 5 servers. I have to manually, based on the information we got from the database, the time of the change of the direct deposit. So I have to find from different server, find the IP address that start the attack. It took me like hours to find about a dozen attackers' IP address. So when I learned about this CloudWatch and CloudTrail, you can send your log to the S3 bucket. Then you can use a service called Athena. So the Athena is kind of like a SQL query, but you can query against your log. So I guess I could have get what I wanted much quicker. And also AWS has a service called Missy. It will go through all your files in the S3 bucket to identify if you have a PI information. It will be really hard for anyone to go through all the files, hundreds of folders. And another service is very, very impressive to me is the log file validation. So to us, to DBAs and application admin, the log file integrity is very important. I believe it's very, very hard to making sure the log file is not getting changed, deleted. But the AWS, you just click a button and says, I need enable log file validation, then they are going to making sure your log file is not changed. They have a hash value to guarantee that. If I have a very strict auditing, if I need to show the log files intact, so we can use this feature. Of course, there's a cost for it. I remember I spent a lot of time trying to managing the wallet for my database encryption. It's hard when clone from production to dev. It's also a complex process. How do I manage different wallets? How do I encrypt different environments? So the AWS made the encryption pretty easy. It's basically a checkbox. So I can even not only encrypt I can encrypt the disk like a root disk or any attached volume, just say encrypt. And I guess I don't even have to worry about the wallet because AWS provide a wallet for me, and they are going to internally store it. It's high available, and also they rotate internally. Of course, if you have more restricting requirements that no, I don't want this third-party key, you can use custom managed keys for your wallet or for your keys to encrypt, or I can even use my custom keys. So the cloud allow those flexibilities. And it also allow me to see who used the key when. So this is more for auditing purpose. I think it's very hard for me to know who used the key when. So this is very, very good the feature from the cloud vendor. So I'm not admin, network admin, but the cloud allow me to be able to set up a virtual private network very easily by using the VPC. And also when I'm combining the elastic load balance and the DNS in AWS is called Route 53. So it allows me to be able to scale it up and scale down. And also I can pick and choose if I want to use failover or I want to use latency-based routing policy, or I want to use weighted routing policy, so I can decide what which region or which service I want to send more traffic. So this high availability to me is also a guarantee of security. because we want secure and guarantee our data. And the AWS also provide a lot of microservices such as SQS, which is a simple queue service, which allow me to decouple in a smaller chunk. It's easier if I to mitigate and if I identify any security issues, so I can make a smaller chunk. And also they provide SMS, it's a simple notification service, so I can set up alert, anything based on my log entry or based on SQS event or based on the Lambda, which is a serverless I'm not provide. So serverless to me is a bigger advantage of the cloud. I remember it used to take days if I need a new server created, right? We set up I remember I had to set up a request, and I was told that we need to set up a request maybe 2 weeks before we need the server. So of course, then we need making sure the server is backed up and the OS is patched. But with cloud, it's probably 2 minutes click, so I can get a server. But the more we can get is serverless. I don't even need a server. I just need to use, for example, Elastic Beanstalk. I can just say, oh, I need to get my code ready. Doesn't matter it's C++, it's Python, it's Node.js. That's all I need. So I can use Elastic Beanstalk to deploy my application. So we shift all the physical hardware security OS patch to the cloud vendor. So I believe automate as much as possible, remove error-prone manual operation is a big security plus. On-prem, it's really hard because we have different vendors and we have different, I remember we were trying to use the Ansible to automate server deployment, but using Ansible on Windows platform is pretty hard. It's not like you can't do it, but it's very hard. And I remember also it's extremely cost if we want to just using automations for the network automation. But on the cloud, even though I'm not a network guru, but I can use CloudFormation. I can put my VPC plus my security group plus all the resources I need in CloudFormation automate. And also I can use, the repository AWS provide, or I can use GitHub to document version control my code. So this will also help this automation and orchestration definitely helps document the change control and tighten the security. I remember 5 years ago, my CIO asked us to take a look on the EBS cloud solution. Back then, I voted no. I said, well, we are not ready. Because back then, the EBS, they only have the general ledger part cloud ready, but the HR has to still be on-prem. That means, you have to run some part of the enterprise business solution on-prem, some on the cloud. But then back then the direct connect is not available. So then the lagging of the database on-prem versus on cloud is a big issue. And of course, security is also an issue. We can use VPN, but VPN will be the single source of failure. So 2 years ago, I was tasked to do a POC to move our DR from a different site to the cloud. So I see a lot of new features coming up from the cloud vendor. Like, you can create a VPC endpoint, let's say for S3 bucket or for the Lambda function, talking to your resource inside the VPC. Now you don't have to go to the public internet. So a lot of things now available. So I feel like the cloud secure service is ready for the higher education challenge. But are we ready to get there? I think it's very complex to migrate, everything to the cloud at once. And so, and also, when I started working on the migration, the DR, so that's when I started like studying in general all the cloud fundamentals. So after I get my solution architect, solution associate certified, I said, okay, I'm ready. But when I start hands-on to start creating resources, I realized actually security, I need to know more about security. So that's when I started trying to check out all the security services AWS provide for us. So the boundary between security, between network, between developer, between sysops is more blurry in the cloud. So that's why I was trying to get more depth knowledge of how each component connect and where do we where do we fit for like different people. So I believe instead of just, okay, I create something security, you can validate, the security should, join this cloud initiative at the beginning. And, but that also means we have to get training. I think it's easier for the people who has institution knowledge for the on-prem to get more familiar with what cloud service provide for us and how it work with us, then just hire some consultant from AWS come in to tell us what to do. So that's why I believe we need to start training ourselves. So in KU, and also I believe it's easier to have a weekly training, maybe 1 hour per week, then have a concentrated like a 1 week training. I have been there. I remember the first time I logged in, I said, wow, it's like 100 some services. Which one should I pick and where do I get started? So the AWS come on site, give us like a whole week training, but it's hard to stay a whole week because you have job, you have a lot of interruptions. And also I don't remember after the training, like what I had learned. I only remember a few concepts. So I find the training by hands-on and do one thing at a time, but gradually, add on more helps. And also, if any new project you start, you might want to ask, is this better for the cloud? For example, if you have a website, so instead of start provisioning new servers, provisioning new storage, maybe it's better I can use cloud, try the cloud. And also, if you're trying to rewrite some of the old program or application, maybe it's time to think about using cloud. And the DR is also a very good example. I remember in my old job, the DR usually will be kind of a copy of your primary site, or at least half of the primary site, but you want to be able to have a copy of all your production instance, plus some test instance you can test the failover. But then you pay a whole site, maybe not idle for most of the time. And we hope we never need to use that DR site. So for the cloud, what I can do is for example, what I'm doing is the environment probably need for web application, for Oracle application, but in the cloud, I can just create one web and one application because I can use auto scaling. So I can use one of each, making sure everything's functional. And if one day we do need switch to the cloud, I can just, spawn it up using auto scaling, set up my auto scaling plan to scale up, to immediate production. But before that, if we don't have to switch over, I can just even shut it down in the evening. So use Lambda function to shut down, so I don't have to pay for, in the cloud. So while we were doing the lab, I also noticed it's the mind side of how cloud works. So when I first implement EC2, so when we think, okay, I need, it is right now using 50 gig, so but maybe I need attach 100 gig because it might grow, but like we need to stop and think about its cloud, its elasticity. We don't need allocate 100 gig because we can add more disk on the fly. So that's why the training is very important, and also identify the people who knows the application best. Then start moving certain application, less tangled application to the cloud to gain experience. Also inventory your system to know what system we have, who are connected to which ones we can know first to gain experience and hands-on, and also create a roadmap. So this is like my story. How I'm on-prem DB application thinking ahead moving to the cloud. So interested in that if you have any idea, if you're interested, we can maybe create some user group or workshop, so we can find out some training session together. Or if you have any questions, let me know, and thank you for your time.
Well, thank you, Hope, for that very informative presentation. You'd mentioned wanting to get a working group together. I see you've got your contact details down there. Do you have any particular idea of how that would function? Would that be a remote working group, or what are your thoughts on that?
So, and also I'm also a faculty for Tulane University. Tulane actually partnered up with AWS Academy. So we offer the AWS class, and at the end of class, you can get a free voucher for the certification. I felt like if you have a goal, like I want to get certified, and you're in a classroom after a whole semester, it helps you have a full understanding knowledge. Another way is we can have a user group or workshop like a weekly. This is online, so yeah, you can, if people are interested, we can, because right now I'm doing it inside KU, we have a weekly lab, so I will pick a topic. So like sometime I pick a cloud formation, so I will do a demo. By the way, for the university or for KU, we can get a free, I think it's education something account. You can have $75 per year for free, so you can hands-on, create some resource and terminate them at the end of the lab. So I found out it's less intimidating if you do them every week a little bit instead of concentrate in 1 week, trying to build a Rome in 1 week.
Indeed. Well, that certainly sounds like something that I personally, as an information security professional, would take you up on. And do you have the URL for that posted anywhere?
The URL for
the training?
You mean the Tulane's Academy?
Yes.
Okay, I think I shared it in my slide.
Okay.
The last line is the URL.
Okay, and we can share that out in the chat.
Definitely. Sure.
Okay. Well, Hope, we don't have any further questions.
And yeah, if we want to work,
Oh, please go ahead.
If I also believe we work as a team because as I said, the role is very blurry, like security versus network versus sysops versus developer. So it may be best we're working in a team. Let's say we have a project, we want to build something. So if you're security, you can like, put more input on the security. And also we like me as a developer get more education like, oh yeah, I need to do that. And also I can tell you, I want to build this inside this VPC. So that's why I think even though it's actually more integrated as a team between the security, the developers and sysadmins. So that's why I believe a hands-on lab will definitely help and benefit even across university. So if you're interested, we can somehow perform a user group. Because I know I'm part of another like Oracle group. So we have a user group across multiple schools. So if people are interested, we can create a cloud group or AWS group.
Absolutely. And I would encourage any of the viewers that are with us live or even afterwards, please submit a question in the chat. We can gather your email address for future outreach about this. I know that I certainly will be a participant. And I think you really spoke to the core mission of Check, which is networking and identifying synergies across our teams. And for that, I would definitely want to thank you for the wonderful presentation today. Do you have any clarification or additional information you'd like to add before we close?
No, I'm fine. Thank you for everybody's time. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time, Hope. And thank you, all of you, for joining us today. We hope you'll stick around for future sessions later on. Take care.